Welcome students. In today's lecture, we are going to start a poem written by S.T. Coleridge, Christabel. But before we start the explanation of the poem, we will discuss briefly about the poem. So, first part of the Christabel was written in 1797 and the second part was written in 1800. Although Coleridge planned to write this poem in 5 parts, but he could not finish it and the poem remains a fragment. He could only write 2 parts of the poem, okay? And setting of the poem is medieval, that creates an atmosphere of mystery and suspense. And the poem belongs to the genre of Gothic horror tale. Poem is full of supernatural elements, and in the poem poet shows a struggle between evil and innocence. Geraldine stands for the evil and Christabel stands for the innocence. Only part 1 of the poem is prescribed in our syllabus, and the poem is in the form of a ballad. Ballad is a poem that also tells a story. Now let me tell you the plot of the poem. So there is one character named Christabel who is the daughter of Sir Leoline, and she is the main character in the poem. She is a pure and innocent woman, and one night in the woods she was praying for her lover, Knight, to whom she was engaged, okay? And she finds a fair lady, Geraldine, there, who is in a great danger and needed immediate help. Geraldine claims that she had been abducted by 5 warriors who had left her in the woods or in forests. So Christabel takes her home. Christabel takes this lady Geraldine home, and in reality Geraldine is an evil otherworldly creature, and she casts an evil spell upon Christabel. Although Christabel finds out the truth or the true nature of Geraldine, but because of the spell, this innocent woman becomes unable to disclose the truth about Geraldine to her father. In the second part, Geraldine meets Sir Leoline and she pretends to be the daughter of his old friend Sir Roland de Vaux. Sir Leoline sends Bray, the bard in his court, to tell Sir Roland that his daughter is safe. And here ends the second part of the poem. Only part 1 is prescribed in your syllabus. Now let's begin the explanation of the poem. So in the opening lines, Coleridge creates an atmosphere of mystery and horror. There is a castle and the time is midnight and owls are hooting and cocks are crowing, a mastiff which is barking. All these things are happening in the full moon night, okay? And all these actions take place in the woods. Woods means forest near a castle, okay? It is the middle of night by the castle clock, and the owls have awakened the crowing cock. To wit, to who? And hark again the crowing cock, how drowsily it crew. So, castle clock tells us that it is the time of midnight, okay? And the hooting owls have awakened the cock, which has started crowing. Hooting of the owl is a sign of approaching evil. To wit, to who? It is the sound produced by an owl, okay? And this is an example of the figure of speech called onomatopoeia, okay? Where the word itself suggests the sound. And hark again the crowing cock, how drowsily it crew. And hark means listen, and listen, the cock has crowed again, but it crew very drowsily because it is the time of midnight. Sir Leoline, the baron rich, hath a toothless mastiff bitch, From her kennel beneath the rock, she maketh answer to the clock. 4 for the quarters and 12 for the hour. Ever and I by shine and shower. 16 short howls, not over loud. Some say, see, sees my lady's shroud. Now, here comes some more supernatural touches in the poem. So, Sir Leoline, who was a rich baron, he has a mastiff bitch. Mastiff is a watchdog, bitch is a female dog. Okay, so Sir Leoline has a mastiff bitch. From her kennel, kennel is a dog house. Okay, and from her dog house that is under the rock, she started making sounds as if she was answering to the clock. 4 for the quarters. So she howls 4 times for the quarters. That means after 15 minutes she howls 4 times, and she howls 12 times for an hour. Okay. Ever and I by shine and shower. And she was very regular in her habit, and whether it was a rainy day or a bright sunny day, and she howls for 16 short howls, not over loud. And see, and this bitch howls 16 times in 1 hour in a voice that is not so loud. Okay. Some say she sees my lady's shroud. Some people say that this bitch sees the spirit of the dead mother of Christabel, or wife of Sir Leoline. Some people believe that dogs are believed to have the ability to see the spirits of the dog. Okay. My lady's shroud. Although the word shroud means a sheet or a covering cloth for the dead body, but here it is used in the sense of a spirit of the dead, spirit of Christabel's mother. Okay. Is the night chilly and dark? The night is chilly but not dark. The thin grey cloud is spread on high. It covers but not hides the sky. The moon is behind and at the full, and yet she looks both small and dull. The night is chill and cloud is grey. It is a month before the month of May, and the spring comes slowly up this way. So here is a question. Is the night chilly and dark? The night is chilly. The night is cold but not dark. A thin grey cloud is spread on high. It covers but not hides the sky. So there is a thin grey cloud that covers the sky but not completely hides the sky. Okay. The moon is behind and at the full, and yet she looks both small and dull. The moon is behind the clouds and at the full. Okay, there is full moon, but still she looks small and dull. The night is chill and cloud is grey. The night is very cold and the color of the cloud is grey. And it is the month before the month of May. That means it is the month of April. Okay, and the spring comes slowly up this way, and the spring season is about to come. The lovely Lady Christabel, whom her father loves so well. What makes her in the wood so late? A furlong from the castle gate. So at this time of midnight, the lovely Lady Christabel, whom her father Leoline loves very much, is in the woods, is in the forest. But why she is in the woods at a distance of a furlong? Furlong means 20 to 20 yards from the castle gate. But why at this hour of midnight she is in the woods? Answer is that she had dreams all yesternight of her own betrothed knight, and she in the midnight will pray for the wheel of her lover that is far away. So the answer is that she had a dream last night about the knight to whom she is engaged. Betrothed means engaged, okay? And she came here in this forest to pray for the well being of her lover who is far away. Lover that is far away. So she came here to pray for her lover who is far away. She stole along, she nothing spoke. She in the sighs she heaved were soft and low, and naught was green upon the oak but moss and rarest mistletoe. She kneels beneath the huge oak tree, and in silence prayeth she. So, Christabel walked silently here in the woods and she spoke nothing. Okay? She heaved. Heaved means to breathe noisily. Okay? She heaved very softly and lowly. Okay? And naught was green upon the oak but moss and rarest mistletoe. And there was nothing green upon the oak tree. That means no green leaves on the tree. But there was moss and mistletoe. Moss means in Hindi you can say kai, okay? And mistletoe is an evergreen plant which rarely grows on the oak tree, okay? So here there is nothing green upon the oak tree, but there was moss and mistletoe. She kneels beneath the huge oak tree, and in silence prays she. Now Christabel kneels. Kneels means to she sits on his knees. Okay, she kneels under this huge oak tree and prays silently. The lady sprung up suddenly. The lovely Lady Christabel. It moaned as near can be, but what it is she cannot tell. On the other side it seems to be of the huge, broad-breasted old oak tree. So she was startled suddenly, and the lovely Lady Christabel heard a sound of moaning. Moaning is a sound of weeping, okay? So this lady heard a sound of weeping or moaning nearby, but whose sound it was she could not understand. It seemed that the sound was coming from the other side of this huge and broad old oak tree, but she was not sure about it. The night is chill, the forest bare. Is it the wind that moaneth bleak? So the night is cold and the forest was empty. Bare means empty. So was this moaning sound made by the wind? Is it the wind that moaneth bleak? So was this sound was made by blowing wind? There is not wind enough in the air to move away the ringlet curl, but here bleak means some gloomy, okay? So but there is not enough wind in this forest right now, and even the curls from the lady's cheek were not moving because there was not wind enough in this forest. The one red leaf, the last of its clan, that dances as often as dance it can, hanging so light and hanging so high, on the topmost twig that looks up at the sky. So there is not enough wind to move one red leaf that was hanging, which was last of its clan, and the leaf was hanging so high on the topmost branch of the tree that looks up at the sky. That means it was hanging so high and it was hanging very lightly, okay? So but the wind was not blowing enough, and that is why the leaf was not moving. Hush, beating heart of Christabel, Jesus Maria shielded her well. She folded her arms beneath her cloak and stole to the other side of the oak. What sees she there? Now, Christabel's heart started beating really fast. So, now here is the prayer. Hush, beating heart of Christabel. May her heart be pacified, okay, and may Jesus Mary protect her from all the evils. Shield her well means may Jesus Mary protect her from all the evil spirits, okay. She folded her arms beneath her cloak and stole to the other side of the oak. What sees she there? Now she folds her arm under the oak tree. That means she starts praying. What she's there, we will get to know this in our next video. That is all for today's lecture. Thank you.